What if there was an easy way to get an extra 10% out of your affiliates? Now, when I say easy, I mean you can do this in a matter of an hour or two over the course of a few months. That little extra work that makes a huge difference. And you make 10% more money, maybe 20%. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today I'm going to show you how. Welcome to the Affiliate Guy podcast. If you want to grow your income, serve your tribe, and enjoy all the benefits of affiliate marketing and having your own affiliates, you're in the right place. Thanks for joining me today. Now let's get started. So I got an interesting email that I'm going to share in a little bit that kind of sparked this episode. And you'll see why this one email kind of opened this whole Pandora's box, right? I'm going to share 10 ways to get an extra 10% from your affiliates. And really, you might get an extra 20 or 30% by doing, most of these 10 things, if not all 10. These are things that almost no one does. And they all came from one little email that has to do with one little part of it. The thing is, you work hard to recruit affiliates. You work hard to serve them during a big launch or a big push or every month, right? Well, why not get that extra 10%? So after a big promotion, after a launch, right after those things, right after your big launch ends, right after this big maybe push for a sale that you've got or a new product that you've got, most people just go dark. They just go dark. There's no communication. So let's really look at launch world for this, and you can apply this to, promotions, cyclical things, maybe a busy quarter. If Q4 is really busy for you, or you have a business that's really ramps up, say around Easter, really ramps up around, Mother's Day and Father's Day, really ramps up, say, around Memorial Day and early summer, and ramps down, at the end of, say, after July 4th. Just for example. Well, what do you do in the other 42 weeks out of the year? Outside of launch world, what do you do in the other 49 and a half weeks? Well, most people just go dark. Their communication drops to basically nothing. And they kind of everything just kind of happens in the background. And instead of staying front and center with your affiliates, they go dark. And that's just not it doesn't work. So here's what to do instead. I've got 10 things for you that are going to make a huge difference. These are the things that when you do them after a launch, your next launch will be 20% bigger, at a minimum 10% bigger than it would have been. Minimum. All right. After a big promotion, the next thing that you do, it's going to be 10 or 20% bigger. So first of all, after a launch, after a promotion, send a recap email. This email should kind of vacillate between two almost extremes. Very heartfelt. You want to thank them. You want to express genuine gratitude, excitement to serve their audience. In this email, you want to talk about just how grateful you are. You want to talk about the results overall and things like that, of course. And then the second part of it is going to be very factual. And so you want to send this about 1 to 2 days after the launch or the promotion. So we just had a big promotion that we did with Pedro Adeo. And this launch ended on Monday night. So I'm recording this on Thursday. These emails are going out today. So I say 1 or 2 days after, just to be clear. 1 day after would actually be yesterday. 2 days after would be today. It might be 3 days after. It doesn't matter, right? And this email, the one that I'm sending, just says, "Hey, first name," and I'll tweak this for each of these. These are the ones, and you'll see as we go along. I will send about 20 of these very personally. The others I will do as a mail merge. They're super easy to do. I just wanted to send you a quick personal thank you for supporting Pedro's launch. It ended up being an amazing launch. And more importantly, it's going to have an amazing impact on everyone who is involved. Whether they bought Crush It With Challenges or a Backstage Pass or just attended the free challenge, lives were changed, and I can't wait to see the results a year from now and 5 years from now. As we get stories from people you referred, I'll be sharing them with you because I know how awesome it is to hear about those things. Here's how things went down for you. And then I give them their stats. I say in there, you had this many opt-ins, you had 1,000 opt-ins, you had 50 Backstage Passes, you sold 20 courses, and you made this much money. So I break down the stats. So it's kind of two very different things, right? Very heartfelt, and then here are the facts. I let them know when they're going to get paid. So here's when the refund period ends. Here's when you'll get paid. Here's when we'll be announcing the other prizes, because there's some prizes involved, and yada, yada, yada. Like, I give them all the facts in there, so there's no questions, and they feel super served. It takes a little bit of time, but that email probably took me 2 minutes to write. And then the pieces, like how many opt-ins you had, that's all a virtual assistant who's just doing that work and sending those emails. So it's super quick on my part. Secondly, get them to commit to the next launch or promotion. This alone is worth 20%. If you just get your top partners lined up for the next one, it will be 20% bigger, because they're going to be a little bit bigger and you're going to bring on new people. So get them to immediately ask them to support the next one. Tell them the dates. You should plan the next launch dates before your launch. You should plan the next big promo before this promo. Now, the caveat to that is, let's say you plan it, but you discover something. Sales really sucked because cart closed in the middle of spring break. So we're going to move it up a week next year. And so you talk with your team like right after the launch and say, yep, the biggest lesson we learned is we need to move it up a week. So you figure that out, and then you announce that. There are caveats there. Maybe you need to move it back. We moved our launch to an entirely different time of year. And so, sometimes that happens, and you don't think that's going to happen until after. But definitely do that. Third, send another email when the refund period is over. So this is just the final thing. It's basically a thank you again. It was awesome. We've already heard some amazing stories. In fact, here are some of our favorite ones so far. And I just wanted to confirm, just a reminder, you had 1,000 opt-ins. You had 40 Backstage Pass sales. You had 22 course sales, only one refund. So your commissions are going to be this. Number 4, pay on time. Do not pay late. If you say you're going to pay on April 15th, pay on April 15th. We want to promise that we're going to pay in a fast manner. So if a launch ends on April 1st and the refund period is over on April 15th, we will tell them April 20th just to buy us a few days, and then we can pay them early. We'll pay them on like April 17th, and so, hey, we're paying you early. But pay on time or pay early. And then fifthly, do this when you pay. This is that email I mentioned. This one email opened this whole Pandora's box for this episode. I had someone say, well, how do I do payments? I've got, they have 20 affiliates. So this isn't even like 400 affiliates. Said, I don't want to send individual payments. It's too cumbersome. What do I do? Well, here's the thing. You can do mass pay with PayPal. And that's actually what we use with a caveat. But I also send an email to them. So yeah, you send the mass payment. That way they get their money, and that's easy. First of all, payments can be done, by a virtual assistant. You don't need to be the one doing the payments, just to be clear. But you want to send them a separate email. You can't just have PayPal send the email and then that's it. That email, I don't even see those emails. The money goes into PayPal. We don't even know about it to the end of the month. I don't see the email. So you also send a second email personally that says, hey, Joe, just wanted to let you know, we just sent you $1,427 via PayPal. By the way, or thanks again for your support of our launch. By the way, just a reminder, our next launch is October 1st through 16th. Are you in? That's kind of the gist of the message, right? That email alone, I typically get at least one reply to every one of those people committing to our next launch. That's huge. That's an extra 0.02% effort. It takes 10 minutes to send those emails. It takes 10 minutes. You can do that as a mail merge. You just plug the number in and send the emails to them. The other thing is, remember, a lot of people have different PayPal emails. My PayPal email is different from the email I actually ever check. That PayPal email is kind of like, it's not a dummy email, but it goes to like our support team. I don't even see those things. So if you want to get to me, you send it to my regular email. That's how you get in front of me. And by the way, what better time is there to ask them to support your next thing than when you just gave them money? It's huge. Sixth, continue to let them know when you pay them. So if it's a launch and there's payment plans, six months of payment plans, for the next 6 months, you email them every time you pay them and ask them the same thing. Remind them of your next launch. If it's a membership, every month, don't send an automated email. You can send an automated email, at least for your top, affiliates that are earning more than $100. Send them a personal email too. You can do it as a mail merge. It doesn't take, it's extra 0.02% effort to potentially get 10% more sales. It's these little things that make the difference is really what I'm getting at here. The little things. Seventh, keep in touch throughout the year. Comment on their Facebook posts. Reach out monthly and just check in with them. Just find ways to keep in touch. If they say something on Facebook and it's a little bit like, they post some bad news on Facebook, send them a text or an email personally. Don't just put pray hands on the Facebook. I mean, seriously, that's not how you build a relationship. Just comment, pray hands. And I'm picking on people who do that. I'm calling you out. That's like, could you have found anything that required less effort on your part than to just comment, pray hands, versus taking an extra 30 seconds to send somebody a text and just say, hey, you could actually say, I'm praying for you, or I'm thinking of you, or I'm so sorry to hear what happened. How can I help? When something good happens, when it's their birthday, don't comment on, I've said this so many times when I talk about networking, don't comment and say happy birthday on their wall. They will forget about that 8 seconds later. You text me, I will remember. I can name, I got maybe 15 happy birthday texts this year. I can probably name 13 of the people. Some of them, I'm thinking of a couple people, aren't people that I'm particularly friends with. I don't know them that well, but they took the time. The only way they knew I had a birthday is that they saw it on Facebook, but they didn't just go to the wall and comment and say happy birthday. Who left a comment saying happy birthday to me on Facebook? I literally couldn't tell you. Not a single person. No idea. I don't even know that I saw any of them. I don't remember them. So keep in touch. Number 8, share stories with them. I mentioned this in that email, right? When you have a success story, you have a testimonial, look up who referred them and share them with that affiliate. Share them with that affiliate. That's huge. Very easy to do. If you have a team, every time you get a testimonial or a case study or a story that comes in, have them look up and see if an affiliate referred them. If it's you, take the time to do it. It takes a couple of minutes every month. 5 minutes a month, and it makes a huge difference. And keep a spreadsheet of those, by the way, because then leading up to a launch, you can put together like a whole document and like an entire document and send to them. It's pretty cool way to do that. You can post them publicly and tag the person. That way everybody sees it, but it also kind of calls them out. Send them privately, mix it up, mix and match. 9th, keep reminding them of the next dates. Just keep every email, the payment emails, when you reach out to them, don't, like, if you're reaching out to say, hey, I'm so sorry your mother died. By the way, our next, like, oh my gosh, please don't do that. If you're that guy, please don't ask to be friends with me. Like, don't do that, but keep reminding them of the next dates. Any mass communication in the Facebook group, serve them in the Facebook group with tips. This kind of ties into number 10, which is serve them. Give them tips, help them with their business. If you see a typo on their site, tell them, introduce them to people, promote them, promote a post of theirs once a month. You have to be intentional about this. Have a list of your top partners and just find content of theirs. I have a virtual assistant who does this every day almost. He goes out and just says, okay, here's 7 potential posts that you could, share on social media. And I go, well, these 2 are not really good for my audience. I'm not going to share those. Let's share these 5, whatever the number is. And we share those 5 social media posts. And so like my top, probably 100, my dream 100, at least once a month, I'm sharing something of at least one of theirs. So of those 100, at least once a month, I'm sharing one of their things, whether it be on Twitter or Facebook and I'm tagging them. Hey, this is a great post by so-and-so. It's about such and such, go check it out. That serves them and keeps me in touch with them. So the point here is don't be lazy. Look for these simple ways that you can keep in touch with your affiliates. You worked so hard to get them. Now you need to keep them engaged. So again, number 1, send a recap email right away. Number 2, get them to commit to the next launch, next promo. 3, send another email when the refund period is over. 4, pay on time. 5th, send that extra email when you pay. And then 6, continue to let them know when you pay. 7th, keep in touch. 8, share stories with them. 9, keep reminding them of the next dates. And 10, serve them. Make this an experience they want to be a part of. And if you want to learn more about building an affiliate program, including I'm going to go deeper into some of these strategies here. I've got a free training coming up called How I Built $1 Million a Month Affiliate Program in Only 2 Years without any connections or credentials. If you go to mattmcwilliams.com/7 figures, you can register for that. mattmcwilliams.com/7 figures. Get signed up for this webinar. If you miss it, if you're listening to this like weeks after this releases, I don't know what happens, actually. We're going to redirect it to something. So you'll have an opportunity maybe to watch the replay. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. But go get signed up. Hopefully you're listening to this in time. Get signed up for that. Come to this training. I'm going to reveal my secret playbook for how to grow your affiliate program even from scratch. You do not want to miss this. I'll see you then, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening today. Remember to check out all of our deep dives into affiliate marketing at theaffiliateguide.tv. And if you have a question, ask it at asktheaffiliateguide.com. Who knows? Maybe you even be featured on an upcoming episode. And lastly, if you haven't yet, make sure to leave a rating and review wherever you're listening to this episode. See you soon.